Happy beautiful Friday, guys. I hope that your day has already been off to a phenomenal start. I woke up this morning feeling extremely grateful and fired up for multiple reasons. I was blessed to be a part of an amazing webinar last night, and it left me feeling really fired up. Where it was a lot of reminders and confirmations, some things that I live by daily. And sometimes along the way, as you are getting in routine and getting in habits and life is happening, you forget about some of the important steps that you used to take. So for me, it was a lot of reminders and confirmations in that, which leads me to asking you guys, how serious are you about living with intent and purpose? How serious are you about committing to yourself, making sure that you are investing the necessary time that is needed for you to make sure that you are working on your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health? How invested are you in not only setting goals, but setting those action plans to truly see them come to life? I know for me, at the beginning of this year, I made a promise to myself. I wanted to maintain that same energy and momentum as we all do as we approach a new year, right? And of course, that may sound unrealistic because, as we know, we're excited, and as the weeks go by and life begins to happen, suddenly it can always feel like, that energy or that drive feels like the light is dimming a little bit. But that is why it's important that we're always, refueling and filling our tanks. Like for me last night, that webinar was a refill. It was a refresher to keep your mind engaged, to keep you, excited and inspired to keep going. And also sometimes we just need reminders, because along in the beginning, like for example, at the beginning of the year, we all have these set routines and things that we're doing. And as the weeks go by, we kind of fall off one thing at another. And it's okay to be reminded that, hey, this works. Maybe you should get back to this thing right here. And so I also want to share how important it is to have clarity. Having clarity about why you are on a mission to achieve a specific goal or thing in your life is very important, because sometimes we could be caught up in chasing a dream or a goal that's not necessarily our own, but maybe something that we think may be a good thing. But then when it comes to putting in the work or the test of times come, suddenly it does not feel as important or worth it, because it's never that we can't do something. It's just a matter of how important it is to us and how much of ourselves are we willing to give to actually see this thing come to life, right? And secondly, we have to be taking responsibility for our actions, taking responsibility for our thoughts, taking responsibilities for, just everything that we experience, everything that how we're responding to our life, and everything that's going on around us is our responsibility. Because if we invest more of our time blaming our past, blaming our upbringing, blaming our parents, blaming our shortcomings, then we never truly take initiative to really just get responsible and start doing what we know we need to be doing in order to change the situation around us, right? And so for me, I believe that in life we all have choices. We all have a life, problems that are happening around us. But what is life if we're not experiencing things that challenges us to create solutions, that challenges us to get out of our comfort zone, to do a little more than you did yesterday? And granted, I know that life doesn't change in 24 hours, but it's just the little things that you continue to do daily that makes a difference. Like for me, I'm a routine person. I have to be in a set routine, which is why I would share like my morning routines. I believe in setting myself up to win for the day, meaning that I have to make sure that I have fueled my mind, my body, my spirit, my energy at all costs. And then there's moments throughout the day where your energy is high in the morning and then it drops. I get to some music that fires me up. I listen to something that, gets my energy going and back in place, because we're not robots, Things are happening as you're going throughout the day. So it is expected that, you're going to feel a shift. But are you being conscious of the shifts that's happening so that you can take control of that, right? By setting a routine for myself, it helps me to be aware. I know when my energy is off. I know when I'm feeling a little, weary, and how to shift that energy without projecting it out onto other people or into the world, because my goal is never to project my insecurities, my anger, my feelings onto others. It's always to be aware and mindful of who I am being at all times. And so, are we monitoring ourselves? Are we checking in with ourselves? Are we checking ourselves? right? And lastly, one of the points that I really appreciated was the fact of accountability. I'm a firm believer in having accountability partners, or just having people around you that will not allow you to give yourself excuses, will not allow you to sell yourself short. Because when we know what we're capable of doing and capable of not doing, it's important that if this is a thing that we want, but we know that it's a thing that we struggle with, to have someone else there. Because it's one thing to fail in silence and to suffer by yourself, but it's another thing when there's other people watching and pushing you and egging you on to get it done. It's a certain sense of, you get motivated, and it almost feels like I cannot afford to fail. I cannot afford to let myself down, and especially not in front of the people that I have asked to hold me accountable. You know what I mean? So when you know that you can't, because I believe that we can do, when you recognize that you are, attempting to achieve something that is out of your comfort zone, that's a challenge for you, set yourself up to win. Get you an accountability partner. Get in a space, get around people or places, what you're listening to, what you're watching, that motivates you, inspires you to stay focused on that thing, right? Because the worst thing that we want to do is not give ourselves a fair chance. We set ourselves up enough daily to lose, so why not set ourselves up to win? We have set ourselves up to lose with excuses, with regrets, with anger, with resentment. Set ourselves up with a winning life by choosing to take responsibility, have clarity, be intentional, and do what you say you'll do. Don't just say things, have the action behind them, because it's important that what you're putting out there, you want to be able to back it up. So if you say that you want to live a life with purpose and drive and excitement, and you want to change the world, you got to start doing things that put you in a position to achieve these things. And so I really just wanted to share these things with you guys, because they were really like some great points, and I was even sharing some in my Insta story, so if you get a chance you can see like some of the highlights from it. And it's just like, take control of your life, step up to the plate, do what it is that you were created to do. And if you're not sure of that, spend some time getting to reconnect with yourself, get grounded, become one with you, so that you can truly figure out what it is that your calling is in this life. While we get many chances in relationships, friendships, a job, and things like that, we don't get the opportunity to live another life. So it is our responsibility to make sure that we are not taking this life for granted. We are not taking our blessings for granted. And no matter what's going on around us, we're not going to become a victim of life. So I love you guys, and I hope that these tips that I've shared with you from something that completely inspired me does something for you on today. So no matter what's going on around you guys, get excited, be intentional about, living your life with purpose, living your life with complete joy, and doing all the things that you say you want to do. Commit, make a plan. Don't just have a goal or a dream. Have plans and start, sacrificing some things so that you can really invest your all into what's truly important and what really matters to you in life. I love you guys. Have a blessed and beautiful Friday on purpose.